Just taking counter trend scalps here on Hood. Where is Google? Let's pull up Google here as well. So Google was the other one I traded this morning. Again, kind of similar, pulling up pretty aggressively, taking the reversion back down into the 320s. Didn't really participate after that. And of course, you guys are seeing me here with my BABA position. Out of the money right now. Don't know if it's going to work well or not, but kind of just waiting for this consolidation to kind of pan out and see what it'll bring us. Maybe more of the same, maybe not. Maybe we get a full-on reversion back to reference prices at 159, or we kind of pull back into this 155 consolidation low. No idea.
Bang, bang, 25 seconds on that one there, Obi. Boom. Good work, guys. So, all right, attempt number 1 on TSLL. Off of those lows, consolidation, boom, we pop up into view up on TSLL. Nice move there. NVDA, NVDA, you got it. We get the short at the break of the neckline, moving a little bit lower, now starting to recover. And then also, the trade of the day is going to be, for me personally, in IBIT. Yes. Not too bad of a move, just continuously churning shares. But that is going to conclude the midday leading into Thanksgiving weekend. Guys, I hope everyone's had a fantastic week and are going to eat a lot of turkey to the point where you can't breathe and you have uncles falling asleep on their couch. Oh boy. But at the end of the day, I hope everyone has a fantastic one.
Great Thanksgiving.
This is Obi. Are you coming in on
Friday?
No,
I'll be here on Friday.
You're here on Friday?
I'll be here on Friday.
He's here. Obi's here on Friday, so there's a lot going on. Thank you once again. It's time for us to send it over to Neil and Sean.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Obi's in for Neil on Friday.
Yeah.
Wow, lucky you. Friday off, huh? Friday off with no plans? I thought I asked you.
Well, we actually had, there was a plan. So my neighbor and I, there's the Raptors, it's a Raptors game where it's like a school event.
Oh, nice.
Where like there's kids that are going from school.
Oh, is it one of those, is it an afternoon game?
Yeah, it was, that was the plan, and we're going to go with my neighbor, but he had to back out, so kind of rescheduling for something else. And so I'm still taking the deck because I've already booked it, so I can just get some ish done. But yeah, we're probably going to try and reschedule one of the Raptors game, but they had to pull out. My neighbor, he's a huge basketball fan. Like I like basketball.
Yeah, but he
he still plays and he drives from Brampton to Toronto to play in a men's league.
Yeah.
And he's a hardcore Raptors fan. He has season tickets for the 905. He goes to all those games. He's trying to hook us up when he's got tickets for the WNBA when they're coming, and his daughter loves it. We went to Globetrotters together, so. And the Raptors are
best.
Legit.
29th, yeah, we have a game
legit right now. Very, very
legit. Yeah. Raptors are good.
I'm impressed. I am very impressed with the Raptors.
All right, what's up, everybody? Bear down. Yo, what's up, Mr. Englewood and everybody there in the chat? Hey, man. I mean, we're long Apple. We've been hitting this trade over and over. The only time we actually got out was when this happened. Bye-bye, Alibaba. And all I saw was my net vanish a couple $100, but it was okay. We were actually long Alibaba and getting out. We were long at 158, and this to tick here is 159 quarter. Look when we were just getting out, we just got back, we were just getting out 159, 159, 159 quarter, and then 2 minutes later, whoosh, we bought 158s again and then got out immediately on a stop order. So we wound up losing basically nothing. We just gave up what we were in the money on already. So when I say a couple $100, it was just unrealized. Bang, well, probably only about $100, into the money and then out of the money and then straight down. So Alibaba and a bunch of other Chinese names get added to the list. Adair let us know that there was over 130 names or something already on that list, and Baba got added and Baidu.
The notable ones of Baidu and then BYD. BYD was the other notable one.
Oh, BYD,
but
BYD.
They all I looked over. I actually had just sat down. I came back from my desk. I turned and go, what the heck just happened? Yeah. And by the time I had even looked at Alibaba, it had gone 150. I'm pretty sure I was staring down 154.5 when I sat down. So I'm like, okay, well, there isn't a long trade. I was contemplating VWAP short. Obviously, VWAP would have been a good short. And then I was saying in the chat, there was a bit of a wedge pattern forming. So this is what I meant by the wedge. Lower highs in BABA, higher lows. It broke the wedge here, confirmed there. Problem is it's really tight to VWAP. And on news, even if VWAP wasn't morning low Like, look at the confluence of the volume weighted average price. It's right there. So I'm not even thinking you go much further than this 157 and change. But I got the quarter, I'm long in front of the quarters, and just looking to play into VWAP. I did reverse in BMRR and MARA to the long side when IBIT broke 88, but then when IBIT came back through 90, I shorted a break in IBIT. So I was long those other names, but now I'm short into IBIT, looking for the all-day trend as an out, which is a moving target. So yeah, Bitcoin was insane when it took out 88K. Like, this was the candle on Bitcoin when it took out 88K. It was just hot knife butter, basically. But we're back through 90,000, so we'll see what happens. Remember, with tomorrow being a holiday, you are going to see lighter volume, but lighter volume doesn't mean the stocks don't move. It just means, like, if a level breaks, there might be a little bit less liquidity. You might get more slippage.
Here comes Tesla, yeah.
Actually, I think you will get more slippage, in my opinion. Maybe on liquid things, it's not a big deal. But if you happen to be trading something that's not liquid today, or this afternoon, then I'd be very, very careful. To me, BABA doesn't get to 150 if it wasn't a day before a holiday. I'm willing to bet at least a few dollars of that move is attributable to the lower level of liquidity on, it's not a Friday, but like what is kind of like Friday volumes.
We just, let's go. This is going, man, back-to-back jacks. We got the big trade on again here today with Tesla. I mean, buy, bang, buy, boom. Right now, 550. We'll just take a piece out right here on the top end of this trade. I mean, we don't want to let this go back again, all the way back in. So there it is, man. Just absolutely stunning there for Tesla as chicken was
Gosh.
The jerk chicken was a little jerky there today. It was, we both gave it like a 0 on the spice level.
I gave it a 2. That's
2 is close enough. 2 is close enough to 0, my guy.
2 out of 10?
2 out of 10 is basically 0.
It wasn't a 0. Like, there's like a 0 would be.
I mean, who gives something a 2 out of 10? Like, what is that? Just like a little bit of pepper on
it? No, 2 means they tried.
Oh, they tried. Okay, they tried. I'll give
0 would be that there was no effort to remotely make it seasoned. Like that.
I'm just saying the seasoning on it, to me, was a 0.
It was weak. It was weak. But
what's up, Dane Generous over here? What's up, Mike Peter Ryder? Look what's going on with Tesla. We just take another fill there at 325.50 as it just keeps on going back up to the upside. What's up, Martin and everybody else? SMR. Just found out they got Obi with me on Monday. That should be a lot of fun coming through. Shout out to Obi and Joe. Joe, man, I want to say, like, I've been watching your trading, and it's great to see you leveling up and, you know, really making a run at some of those great trades. So congratulations to Joe again for putting up some great trades there for you guys on the midday. You know, and great trading there for Joe. I know you're trading the IBIT over there as well. You were showing me some of those trades, but it looks like Apple right here, like the market may just give it up at the end of the day. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. Underneath here, underneath the 50-period moving average, you can see there's the high, high. We're making lower highs is what I'm getting at right now. And I think we're just like moments away from really trying to snap this and then getting back to here. So our out on Apple is not too far away from here, 277.70s, I think. So I'm just going to show you what that is, because now we're bleeding back down, and this is why you got to take profit when they lie in there, right? I mean, I'm sitting there at 45 and get hit there. Obviously, in hindsight, we look to take them all out if that ever happens again, but here it comes right back in, and this is that sort of drop zone right now. We've already done really well on Apple there. We lost right here when it broke early, and then there again, but then was able to catch this, and we've been making some money here on these trades, but it doesn't look like we're going to hold that profit if we break. So down into here, this is the 60s. So we just want to see if we get sort of underneath where we've been and breaking a little lower from there, and we're going to get stopped out on Apple. I mean, we're long in 24, so getting stopped out at 70 is like a 50-cent hit. So we've made that profit, but we just kept on taking out pieces and not the full thing. So in what is going to be a choppy afternoon, I would say, Neil's already talked about the volume and things like that. I feel like it'd be pretty choppy coming in. I don't know if this is an average daily volume. I don't know. Like Apple at 17 million seems low to me. NVIDIA over here, probably what, 60 million? 127 million, so I'm not even close on the guess of NVIDIA.
That's
probably more than average.
Like like I'm looking at, this is going to be the wrong spot to check this at because Baba has a volume spike. But if you look at Baba compared to yesterday, Like look at or any other day outside of that volume spike. Like this is way lower. So BABA got to VWAP. I said VWAP, get out. That's prior low, resistance, resistance. So we take that out. But pretty much everywhere. If you look at something, you have to find something that doesn't have a news story. Is the best way to gauge volumes. Like look at here. Let's look at Netflix. There's nothing going on with Netflix today. And look at the volume on Netflix. Right? So you can't, there's no argument for a catalyst. It is way lower volume than any day this week. It looks like Friday afternoon volume in the entirety of the day. So when that's the case, you got to be careful about what you're watching. Ooh, I had flipped long open door, and I think I got out too early. So just a quick notion on open door. We're short it pretty much all morning. It then did this, broke trend here, was long, and then it didn't break VWAP. That's kind of weird. It might have had to stop above VWAP instead of underneath, but it's still holding this trend break for open door. So I might look to jump back into this in the low 7.6. Otherwise, I'm just in that IBIT trade, short off this trend break. If it gets to VWAP, great, but you got to watch out for this 50-80 level right around, it's like 89.9 is where we're chilling right now. If you lose 89.9, I think you find a bid at 88, almost no questions asked, but we are now ready for the afternoon rundown.
I don't like these longs right here.
I don't think the market moves as much as we think it does this afternoon.
Yeah, no, it's not going higher, that's all. It's like I feel like it's trying to push lower, and I'm sitting here in two longs. I mean, the Tesla long, Joe's ready. Yeah, the Tesla long is pumping right now. So we're $6 now, and this is still going. This is an absolute monster. So we'll hold on to that. I mean, my worry spot right here, I can get out for flat right here. Like we're long at 24s, it's at 20s. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of my own advice here, offer some 20s, and just get out at 10%, just now. Take off a little bit of pressure. But you know what the hell's 10%? Who cares? Let's ride, right? I mean, let's see if we can get a little bit higher than that. Let's go to 278, like 40s, okay? And we'll see if we can get some love there for about 15%, and then we'll see about getting a higher bid. Apple. You're nervous about these positions like I mean, you may want to consider taking some off, especially if you're looking for a big move this afternoon. I'm not sure we're going to get it, but we're here and we're ready to go. All right, Joe. Let's go. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the segment where you guys get to pick what stocks we talk about. So you make sure you get into the chat, get in there, $ vote for the ticker that you want to see us going over in the Afternoon Rundown. So join Obi and I this week, or Sharif and I, and get those votes in. Also, you get to participate in the chat as well, too, guys. But first and foremost, let's take a look at some of the major averages. We're going to start off here with the Dow Jones on a 15-minute chart. We're up a little bit more than 0.6% here, so not too bad of a look whatsoever. We've been going over the SPY and we've been going over the NASDAQ on multiple occasions, so let's take a look at the broader perspective here, and this is going to be the IWM as well too. So from opening price, guys, we're up a staggering 1.1%. Little facetious, but at the end of the day, not too bad of a look. But let's get over to our first in line, and you guessed it, yes, it is going to be Tesla. With this AI talk, adding over $90 billion to the market cap, so a big time move. And also with the anticipation that Elon Musk RoboTaxi fleet in Austin and Texas is going to expand and nearly double in the coming months. That's some big time news. We're waiting on the permits in Nevada. As we know, the likes of Zoox is already in there, in Las Vegas as well too. So we're gonna keep that in mind. The faster he grows, the better off, but we talked about the potential of the exponential growth within Tesla. What do you guys think?
Tesla, Tesla's been on radar for a very many times this week, and a very long time, and a good time as well. Like yesterday, this was our Tesla trading yesterday. We got moked early on this move down, and then finally found a bottom right about 10 o'clock, and then ripped it all the way up to 420 there near the end of the day. And then today, we added it right back on our list here today, 420 long-ish area. But it turns out, well, the 420 area is cash money, but for right now, We just waited, man, and we didn't even take the 420 on the way down because we've been having so much luck, and this is not true, taking early trades that we decided to wait. And yesterday we waited till about 10 and change. Today the exact same thing, quarter after 10, it based out, and it was like, go. So as long as the stories are what they are, positive stories for Tesla, you know, good reaction stock for sure. If the market goes down, we can stay away from it and get out for small hits, or if it goes up, then we put some numbers on the board. That's what we're here for. We're here to put numbers up. And right there, Tesla, boom. This is a number, right? This is one of those sort of notches on your belt there. And there it goes, 425. You know, I'm waiting for this to get up to 425. We'll take another piece out there, and then we'll have a small piece after that left. But we're still trying to run this back there to the upside. I like the stock. You know, that 418 level has been pretty good there. You know, it was a consolidation a couple days ago. Yesterday didn't really mean anything, but I liked it from a couple days ago. I remember that stock and those levels, and there it goes. So just off 415, you know, that should be a good low, like this 414 to 415 area. I do want to buy more Tesla on weakness. So if we get some sort of an event over the next couple days that you know, creates another move down in the market, I think Tesla's here to stay for a while. So let's just keep on getting long on Tesla. I don't want to short this at all until, like, I probably won't even put a short on the board until we get back up to here, like 450, 460. Then I'll be maybe thinking about some shorts. But for now, it's Tesla long, and it is a gorgeous ride, man. Up 650 now on this trade, and just letting it work out here into the afternoon.
And that's sort of the thing. And when you get those big ones, you got to make sure you hold on. It's the best of your ability. Oh, when you say the next couple of days move down, obviously we're not. I don't think we get a major move till next week. You could see some things happen on Friday. I kind of feel like with earnings done, with the Fed, you're now waiting until the middle of the week that, you know, you'll have more gliding than anything else. That's just a gut feel. Who knows? But the 50 period kind of lingers at 33. I suppose that would be like one place to look. So my plan of action was to wait for a setup on the 15. All right. This is usually I don't like taking the executions off, but you literally can't see anything if I don't. So I'm going to show you on the 15-minute, it finally closed above 420 because 420 was the level I was looking at. So there was your close, there was your confirmation. So like this is where I want to be getting long. And then I said in the middle of the day, like I took some out here, and then if this candle was going to get me out, and it wasn't very clean, but there was a clean move through, and now I can put the executions back up. So it's as quick as this. And then you'll see that I did follow my plan of action, which was when it failed on the 15-minute, that 420, I would jump out of it. And, you know, it is what it is. It ends up going to 424 if you hung on to it. But I told you if it closed a candle under 420 on the 15-minute, I was going to jump out of the trade. And I also would not short this. But I think 433 to 435, if it got there, that's a different story. Like you're talking about $8 from here, the 50 period on the daily. I think that makes sense. Diggity Jacobs like this China thing. Do I like this China thing? I mean, do you? Well, no. I own shares of Alibaba in my long term, not as much as I did before. So I don't like this China news whatsoever. I don't think if you own a single Chinese ADR, you're probably not happy with this. And then it certainly doesn't necessarily help some of the chip names, right? Because then you can get this tit for tat, and you know it kind of goes back and forth. So no, I don't.
I mean, here's the FXI.
I don't particularly like the news. I mean, there's not much I can do about it. You just sort of live with it.
I actually like the news as an investor. I'll take the other side of that because it's giving me an opportunity to buy more at better prices. I mean, I like the Chinese names as far as PEs and all that
sitting on that bid
are concerned. Yeah, I mean, to sit on that bid today, 150 on BABA. Here's FXI. I just want everybody to know we do have coming up in just a matter of moments here, about 20 minutes, Paul Duffy, CEO and chairman of AIML Innovations. So we've been talking about them throughout the last little while. You're going to hear from Paul coming through very soon. AIML coming up. Check them on the CSE and on the OTC markets. But okay, guys, there goes Apple. Let's go, man. We're trying to make this move right now. Apple to the long side right now. So let's go. Nice upside move for AAPL. We just took some out at 40, as we had said. So let's go, man. Good thing we didn't take it out at 25s there, but nice move higher here for Apple. Just to see, man, see if we can get this back to Greensville today. Let's go, Apple. You only have 0.5. We'll see if we can get a little higher, looking at like 278.75. Joe, I don't know if Apple's on the board or not, my guy, but let's go. What's the number 2 stock you want us to cover?
It is not Apple, nor is it on the board, my brother. But that's okay. It'll have plenty of time. It can be the king of something else, but not on our watch list today. All right, guys. Robinhood is most definitely up next. The company stating that it introduced a futures and derivatives exchange and clearinghouse, deepening its investment in the predictions market category. But Goldman Sachs analyst also reiterating its price target to a whopping $175 and also giving the rating a strong buy. What do you think about Robinhood, guys?
Well, the bottom already got put in. It didn't want to give you that 200-period moving average, and so many stocks did. This one absolutely did not, and that's sort of the, for everyone, when you sort of look at these pullbacks and you're like, oh, I like this stock here, I like that stock there. You're going to hit some because they get to your level, and there's other ones that are just not going to get there. And that's exactly what I would say with Robinhood. I like the 200-period, but that's way gone now, and I just feel like this is a name that I'm not ever chasing. Just can't really. And Echelon, we appreciate the questions. We'll definitely get to things like Upwork for sure. I've noted that, and I have a note for it. But we're going to get through the rundown here. Robinhood, you have two things going on. Obviously, the prediction market's a good story, but we know so much of what they're doing volume is related to crypto. Bitcoin got back to 90. It's underneath 90,000 now, but a big rally back in Bitcoin is going to push this higher. So I think when you're watching this afternoon, if we don't hold that 90K. Like right now, I'm not going to reload this again on Bitcoin, by the way, because it's still making some higher lows. So I have my bids out, but no more reloading. I have about a break-even stop or close to a break-even stop. If we end up losing this bid and holding under 90,000, then I would look for Robinhood to give you some kind of a pullback this Friday. But for now, it's just holding trend. Like this is one of those all-day trends that you see on Robinhood. Like it is all day on the 15-minute. Every single time it retests the trend line, it holds the trend line pretty cleanly. So unless that breaks, I think you're probably good to go. And put on the move.
Yeah, I just want to hear on Tesla. So it's not a $6 or a $7 winner, Neil. It's an $8 winner. It's an $8 winner right there. So there we go, my little slapper there as Tesla. Obi, thanks for that attention. He's like, guys, check out Tesla right there making new highs. So there goes Tesla taking out the day's high right there. But look, we've been digging into some exchanges and we did stumble across BTCC. So make sure you do scan that QR code right there. They're top 30 globally and they have never been hacked. Meanwhile, there are other markets that we can't just trust, right? BTCC stays untouched. Zero KYC, of course, if you're in the United States or Canada or Europe, so pretty much all of you. Through Trader TV, you get 100 USDT for registering, plus you get 15% back that covers up your losses for 15 grand. Seriously, if there's nothing that you're missing here, just scan that QR code, check it out for more info. It's btcc.com right there. So go check them out and scan it if you're looking for a wonderful opportunity to trade crypto as I throw my pen everywhere. Crypto be not, but there goes Tesla and there goes Apple right now to the upside. So, all right, Joe, let's just get on with the show here. What is the next one you want us to talk about?
It is going to be Alibaba Group, guys. We're going to try to look at something a little bit different, but we know the Pentagon news stating that Baba should be listed in a category of other names, Chinese ADRs to be specific, that aid the Chinese military. But aside from that, JP Morgan maintains an overweight on Alibaba, but lowering its price target to $230, guys.
Sorry.
What stock was it?
No, I just heard the lowering of the price target for the first time. Alibaba lowering the price target to 230.
For Alibaba?
What was it before? $300?
I don't know.
That'll play.
I like Alibaba.
Yeah, when was the last? You know what? I'm not going to bother trying to go too much further back here. But look, Alibaba. If you look at look at this stock from the time that it held the 200-period moving average, because it took a while to really break out above. I think it was much better here when the 50 and the 200 were getting held. That's when you were good, and it was about those 70s and 80s. So, I know a lot of people. At least I know two people that were long in this area when that finally happened, holding both major moving averages. I'm sure there's plenty of other people technically that would have looked at the same thing. It then dipped and held 80. So there's a double up from there. And like anybody that didn't take profits in this market, you probably did. I just feel, I've been feeling that a pullback is deeper on this. So like I like the 200 here, under the 50. I mean, maybe this news, again, I don't like the news, but I'm also not a buyer till the 200 period moving average. And I'm not changing that. This news wouldn't have mattered. I felt that way regardless of this news. So this is just going to make me think I have maybe a better chance of getting filled down there. We always talk about valuation being a positive for them. That's 100% true relative to some of their quote unquote peers. Obviously, you've got the China risk, but then that also provides you with upside. So that cuts both. Well, I think the 200 period is where I'm waiting on BABA for this afternoon. I don't know if I'd take another shot, but it would have to break VWAP to like this recovery long more because it is a brick wall. 157 was yesterday's close, 157.01. And then 1, 2, twice it's already tested here and cannot seem to break that 157 and the morning low. So if you're not busting out over 157, I think you can't really go long this stock again this afternoon. With about 90 minutes to go, there's a chance it could continue this breakout and recovery. But it's dwindling. Also keep in mind, the Chinese ADRs in the afternoon tend not to do as much volume to begin with, let alone heading into a holiday.
Do I like Alibaba? Oh, hell yeah. We had Alibaba written down here today, big time on our note here, 158 long, and we were cruising. But we've traded it before this news today, right? Now, the chart's going to be a little off. Oops, that's Tesla. There's Baba. The chart's going to look a little bit off because of this, skewed. But you know, long on the 160 break, and that was good, man. We went to 160, 150. We tried to hold that 160 level. It did not, so we got out. So that was in and out. Basically a flattish trade, maybe a little bit up to start with. Then we went long on this dip down into the pre-market levels of 159 and change. Then when we lost 158, which was the level that we wrote down, we're going long against 158, right, on a pullback in from 161 to 158. I'm there for that. Then that's out, right? Breaks and out. So putting us slightly, probably, I guess slightly red, I would say, on BABA then. Then it just came back up, and you know, we took this at 10:30, so we were live on the air when we took this trade, all right? Then it fell back in, right into the 50 period, then it bang, straight upside, man. We're in the building, baby. And then it just started to go back up to these highs again, and we were getting out. We were like, yeah, we got BABA, man. This is all about BABA time. And then honestly, like, sometimes we're pretty lucky, just 2 minutes before that story hits at 110, whap to the downside. There's my 158 buy, but this is not a manual trade. This is an in and an out, fast. This is an automatic trade. We bought it. We're sitting on the bid at 15s. Once it broke 58s, we're gone. So basically turns a winning trade into a flattish trade. We tried to average it in and back out. But this is the thing. Like, I know a lot of, you know, we're sitting here and, you know, you're looking at the different styles of trading and everything like that. I've only traded 3 names, all right? And you could see here, this is the thing. Up and down, we get out when we're wrong. We get out when we're wrong, when levels are breaking. But when we're right, we're trying to hold, all right? And right there, we got in and out at that 158 break. And for everybody that's like not putting out stops, got to put out stop. You know, we've gone back and forth with this kind of talk numerous times. You know, no stop there. Like, I can't even breathe when this is happening. Like I was look, if you're playing, regardless of the share size, obviously you want to play stops and you want to, you know, adhere to a strategy because eventually you hope to trade more shares, you know, and once you've got it. But the thing is, if you're sitting here confident like I am in trading shares, then you cannot let this happen. You lose your whole week, your whole month, anything like that. If you're confident in a level like I was at 158 and you don't have a stop, it's epic, you know? So like, even if you take a couple hundred shares there, whatever you're taking, like that could go down $6. It's too much of a move, you know, on your full default or whatever you have there. So definitely something to worry about and something to watch out. Always have a stop, and Alibaba right there is a perfect example of why you need one. And obviously sitting down there at 150 would have been quite nice, but the bounce is at 150 flat. So there goes Alibaba. And we're just watching out for Apple and Tesla right now. Tesla's now 850, by the way, in the money on TSLA, taking out new highs right now. This name is not stopping, but all right, we're done. Go.
Guys, last on the list here, we have BTC putting in a nice session up approximately 2.5%. But Peter Schiff stating that Bitcoin and Ethereum treasury companies have no viable business model. He also states that the companies generate no meaningful earnings, piles on losses, and survives only by issuing new debt or equity to buy more Bitcoin, an asset that essentially yields no cash flow, guys.
Well, it doesn't yield any cash flow. Before we get to that, let's talk about something also important, and that is that each year there are 3.8 million concussions reported in the US. Yet, there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Orogenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Orogenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Scan that QR code you see out in front of you if you are interested. So MSTR and all that kind of stuff aside, like there's a vast difference between this. What do we call it? These treasury plays, pseudo ETFs, whatever term we're using at this point, and actual IBIT. And the other thing which we keep sort of harping on here, we're supposed to be talking about. I'll fix my mic antenna. Hopefully we don't have too bad static there. Like I'm just showing you a chart of Bitcoin, and yes, MSTR made a move up, but it should be kind of obvious that it didn't really have as parabolic of a move relative terms. And if you look at what's been going on, that's clearly faring much worse than Bitcoin. There is a hedge trade that happens, and it flat out is short MSTR, long Bitcoin, and my presumption is that something similar happens with BMRR and ETH. I don't know that for a fact because I've never actually seen it in print, but we know this happens for a fact in MSTR, which does change the litmus for what you're looking for. All of that said, Bitcoin did a very good 88 break. You heard me this morning say 88's the level. If 88 breaks, I think it goes. I was short this morning underneath it, specifically in BMNR, eventually flipped into a long. There you can see I was short underneath. It eventually broke out into a long. I tried to break down short, which is the same one that I'm in for IBIT, but then BMNR showed strength. Very similar on Mara as well, where Mara was breaking down for a short. I reversed into a long there. When 88 broke, got out of it near the top. Well, technically, I put a trailing stop in, then do that thing where you buy more, and then you have a trailing stop up there anyways. Mara also near the high of the day, only up 2.5%. Kind of surprised it's only up 2.5%, but then the miners aren't as good. And then currently, as I mentioned, IBIT, often it's about 90,000 on Bitcoin, where we're holding underneath like 89.7 or so, but it broke the trend. So all green, first pullback was here. And then that started holding. This was actually on the Alibaba news. For whatever reason, it caused a spike down. So then it held the trend line a second time, held it a third time, and then broke it on the fourth. And then I started shorting it there at this level underneath the trend break. But there's an all-day trend right here, which I want to cover in front of. The all-day trend stops at about 50.70. So I think that puts a target and then maybe a new trade underneath there for Bitcoin. So this is what I'm looking at this afternoon. I do still have eyeballs on Mara and all that good stuff, but as far as crypto goes, MSTR, man, I don't know, I just don't get it. So
yeah, I'm not a big MSTR guy, but here's a look at some quick little crypto plays here. So Bitcoin 89.8 right now. Bitcoin 89.8 right now. Ethereum breaking back above 3, which is nice. Of course, Binance trying to get to 9 bills. Solana back up to 144 off of 133 lows. Let's go, Apple. Tesla's off, so that's fine. Tesla's perfect right now. Dogecoin's 15.5, Cardano 4.3. So, you're seeing here a little bit of a get up here now in some of these names for crypto. And I didn't trade it today at all, but nice moves up now as the NASDAQ. Can we continue the rest of the afternoon here with an upside push? Is Joe's, we're done now. Okay, so Joe is now off, and we are getting ready for our CEO interview here. With AIML innovation. So we're excited for that. All right, there it is. CLSK, 10 times, what is that? Oh, is this breaking news? 10x trade club long idea. New highs could deliver a gain upwards of, what is this? What? Clean Spark? I don't know what's up with that. Who put that up there? Andre put that up? Okay, we can have a look at CLSK. Is it like doing something right now? I don't really know what that means, but right now, maybe CLSK, you know, what is it? What did it say? 10x from here? I don't know. Nice highs for CleanSpark, of course. If we're talking about Bitcoin and mining and everything like that, we could see some love for CleanSpark. And of course, as Bitcoin comes all the way back in, I mean, there's not going to be too much love for many of these names. But yeah, CleanSpark could be a good one. BMRR. I mean, there's a lot.
Look at the moment when. What's the exact moment we broke 88? 1224 on these candles. So CleanSpark. Here's the 1224 on CleanSpark. This is when 88 broke on Bitcoin, like on this trend break. And someone asked me, why wouldn't you trade CleanSpark? I actually just saw in the chat. Like, why would you trade Mara instead of CleanSpark? And it's not a sexy reason. It's nothing to do with CleanSpark or anything against them or like somehow Mara is going to be better. It's as simple as this. When Bitcoin broke 88, I was in Mara. I was short Mara on trend as we were trying to break 88 because my first thought was if we don't break 88, I want to be short. So I was short, 88 broke, I got out, I went long. If I had been looking at CleanSpark in the moment, I probably would have gone long in CleanSpark. If I'd been looking at Riot that moment, I probably would have been long. I bet you Riot, same moment, same trade, maybe a little better. See, like there's Riot essentially at the same area. So it didn't really make a difference what you were looking at because it was Bitcoin breaking 88 and then you got outsized moves pretty much everywhere. So I think you were pretty good. And then Echelon has been asking me to go over Upwork multiple times and I promised we would after the rundown, so no worries there. There was no story on this as far as I'm concerned. So I don't think I have to deal with any news with regards to Upwork. All right, I'm gonna save the pun for this one breaking out. So here's the thing. Does it look like it's breaking out? Yeah. Do I feel good about the fact it breaking out in the near term? Not really. Now, why don't I feel that good? Because look at what happened the last time it was at an even dollar and tried to break out. Sell at 18, sell, 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 sell. So it held 18, that's November to May, right? And then effectively holds around the same support level. Now it's testing 20 only for the second time. So this seems to be the kind of stock that it's telling you that it's going to hang around before it goes. Like look at all the tests at 15. Like it makes a new high and then rejects it like 5 or 6 times. Makes a new high, rejects it 5 or 6 times. Makes a new high. Well, it's only rejected it once. So I think it seems like you got to be a little bit patient with something like an Upwork, but it's in a very nice, gentle climb higher. So there you go. As mentioned by Sean, as you can probably tell just looking behind us, we are ready for an interview this afternoon. Special guest at the desk with Adara.
Good afternoon, guys. We're really excited to have on today with us a special guest. It is the CEO and chairman of AIML Innovations, Paul Duffy. How are you doing today, Paul?
I'm great, Adara. Thank you for inviting me. I love your studio. It's super impressive.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for being on here with us this afternoon. I'm really excited to talk here with you guys. So AIML is trading around 5 cents right now. What is the market missing about your company and your stock?
Okay, great question. First off, I'll say today what the market's missing is the value of our IP. In about 6 months, I think what they'll see, it'll be fun when they see what we do with that IP as we begin to commercialize. But let me give you a little bit of background on this intellectual property. So for your audience, basically, what we developed was an AI for ECGs, electrocardiograms. Really what this means is we're able to go in and detect a signal from a lead, could be a 1 lead, 3 lead, 12 lead ECG device, interpret that signal to a degree of specificity that has absolutely never been done before. We took that technology, we put a great big patent moat around it, and we began to commercialize it literally about 4 to 6 months ago. So these recent announcements that you've been hearing about AIML and everywhere from Sick Kids Hospital to the Jamaica regulatory pathway that we're in. We just announced this morning a group with Equimetrics, which is actually, if you could believe it, in the vet industry for horses. All forms of organizations are using this exciting ECG neural network.
Awesome. So it's really interesting to see here the applications of the network. I want to talk a little bit more about what makes max yield and cardio yield different from every other ECG AI. Can you tell us?
So great question. What we did with our technology, which is quite foundational, we went in and most groups, most technologies, and this is an industry that's been around for about 60 years, and we're focused primarily in the context of cardiovascular disease. So it's a $1 trillion global ecosystem, if you would, industrial complex. What we did is we went right into where the entire story for clinical diagnostics begins, and that's with the ECG. We crack open an actual heartbeat And like most systems, we don't use noise filters. We're not looking for patterns. We actually identify the heartbeat in the signal from the lead. What that means is we find the start of the P wave, the onset of the QRS complex, and then the onset and the offset of the T wave. So really all that means is we're able to go in and crack open a heartbeat and create an entire time series data sheet around that. We use that information to go downstream to any of the incumbent systems that are out there or our own system, which is what cardio yield does. So we took cardio yield and we actually designed it from the ground up with a variety of different clinical partners. There hasn't been a significant innovation in clinical diagnostic support tools, software, in probably 20 to 30 years. So we took a clean sheet, put all the modern software development principles in place, and we built a web-based system that can actually take our ECG outputs and allow any clinician to almost 2 to 3x the capacity and throughput at their clinic. So it's been extraordinary for us.
And speaking of these innovations here, can you talk about what would result in a re-rating of the company?
Well, I think the first thing is kind of the following. We have positioned the technology specifically into the US and the Canadian markets in two, I'll call them camps. One is regulated, where we're going through the FDA and Health Canada cycle right now. So these are the clinics, the hospitals, the areas where you're getting a medical diagnostic from our software. The second is in the unregulated or the wearable market. What that means is we can go into any of the longevity, the wellness, the fitness type programs. And then as I just mentioned earlier, we've got the vet industry as well. If any one of those segments kick, on board, start using our tech, we are going to get re-rated because the commercialization and the traction on that's going to be extraordinary.
That's very exciting. And I think with that in mind, you mentioned, of course, the vet angle. You talked about sick kids. So what other catalysts should traders be watching out for in the next 60 to 120 days for AIML?
Great question. So there is a lot brewing behind the scenes. So the first is the outputs from these clinical trials that we are currently involved in. So these include a number of clinics here in Toronto. We've got a great clinic we're operating down in Jamaica. We've got a number that will come up in the US. Once they hear the results of those and they see the broader agreements that come out of those deals, I think those are going to be very significant catalysts for us.
So speaking of catalysts here and the trading side of things, can you tell us what the risk reward is for traders with AIML?
Well, my feeling is, and I can tell you as the CEO and the chairman, of course, I'm in it every day. We're in the weeds. We're looking at where we're at. There's no downside at 5 cents right now, to be frank. We have spent, we've built, and we've patented a foundational piece of technology for ECGs. And its use and its markets are massive. I mean, this is a humanity scale issue that we are able to help solve. So right off the bat, we've got great scale and potential. We just need one of those markets to click as we go through our commercialization. But I think all of them are going to click. They don't come all at once, but once one domino goes, the next one and the next one will hit. Those are the catalysts that I think are going to really drive us up.
Let's zoom out a little bit here, I think, because the name of the company, of course, AIML Innovations. Let's talk about the AI side of things again. Of course, a super hot topic in the market. So what makes AIML an asymmetric AI play?
Well, as I mentioned, we've built the technology. So this is not, let's go get some more money and continue to build, build, build. This is a scale up. More importantly, when you're a neural network in a software business, you are zero cost for delivery. Our cost to build reports and technologies are pennies compared to the hundreds of dollars that are being charged currently. So from a scale up perspective, not only can we scale fast, but we can scale fast with cash flow.
Awesome. Thank you so much here, Paul Duffy, CEO of AIML Innovations, and also chairman, for being here with us today. And thank you so much for giving your time.
Yeah, great having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. And I certainly, I have somewhat of an understanding of how diagnosing heart issues and getting prodded with ECGs and over again, and understanding how big of a breakthrough that could be. And if you also have to consider, hey, the population's not getting younger, ultimately. So I think I root for them as always. And thank you so much for coming on here. And I appreciate adhering to the dress code up in here as well.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Thanks.
We're the
Paul.
comfortable sweater, which is
Exactly.
feeling
This
that.
is what we're doing, man. Thanks, Paul, for coming out. That was good. And I like to talk there. Like, at 5 cents, where's the downside? There isn't any. So I like that. There always is, though, guys. Do your own due diligence. But that was great. Couple great points there. And you never realize it until it's almost too late. Like, everything's got to get discovered. There's a lot of money that goes into R&D and everything like that. So we want to thank Paul and AIML for coming out and explaining, what their business looks like and what the model looks like moving forward. So a great opportunity there. We've been talking about them for a while, so it's great to put a sort of a face to the name there. And it's good to get CEOs out in front of it, right? And I think that's awesome. So we want to really thank Paul for that. And meanwhile, I said to Neil, like, what was that? Oh, it didn't fill out. I don't know what that story. I don't know what's going on with our charts there, but Apple. Like NVIDIA ripped up, we got Tesla right there, everything at about, and I don't know if there was a story, I mean, Adara's doing that, but at 241, like Tesla elevated, Tesla was basically went up about 70 or 80 cents there. Apple shot up there. We noticed that NVIDIA maybe also.
So you're saying big tech?
Look at this. Right here, NVIDIA actually, yeah, big tech. NVIDIA goes up at 241. So I don't know if somebody was like, was getting their basket in or what was going on there. But let me see if anything happened on Google. Nothing on Google.
Nothing on my blotter at all, like during the whole time that interview was happening, but I'm gonna do some searching for individual
Nothing
names.
on Softy.
Yeah, Microsoft right now is trying to like gap up a little bit, 50 cents right there in 1 minute. So there's a little gap there for Softy. So there is something happening right now, and it could just have been somebody either got marketed out or whatever of their positions.
Well, you know what it could be?
It was Palantir.
Hey, we know it's a holiday tomorrow. We said there's going to be like some liquidity concerns. So you could literally have just had somebody with a basket that went to execute and forgot that it's feeling like Friday afternoon trading before the holiday tomorrow. They did the execution and there was just a bit too many shares.
Yeah, but the thing is on Apple, you'd have to I don't know what that wick was.
The wick on NVIDIA retraced instantly. That's the only thing. Like I actually was the only stock I had up at the moment was NVIDIA.
30,000 shares is that. So yeah, it's not that many shares. That candle is 30,000.
That's what's crazy. It doesn't. What's wrong?
No, it doesn't seem like it's that crazy there either. But I don't know, man. We did well there. I wish our chart filled up because now it just looks like I just painted that there. But yeah, Apple did do that. So we have the fill, and I wish it didn't look like that, but it does. All right, so yeah, you might be right. With only an hour to go, the market may just do this, man. The rest of the day. So you gotta sit around and take fills. I mean, we're gonna always take a fill in front of that 200 period moving average on the 1 minute chart. So that's what we did there, and it worked out for us. So good on us for taking that fill. But we also take advantage of that move up in Tesla because Tesla had come back down, and I actually got the fill on Apple. Then I moved over to Tesla and quickly punched another piece out. All right, because I was like, what? I even said to Neil, what just happened right there? And nothing moved on his side. And I went over to Tesla and I saw the net starting to jump. So I took a piece out, which is why we don't have the top there, but you're starting to see it falling in just a little bit now. I might take just another opportunity right here at 26, take some more out on Apple, and then see if we can get a runner in to close this off. But what's up, Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Beta Pro by Global X Canada, because we have some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on our stream. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, which happens to be Canada's largest provider of leveraged, inverse, and inverse leverage ETFs. They've just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure. The S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and on U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, which offers the potential for pure performance and exposure. So if you are a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca, betapro.ca/3xdaily to learn more. Back to you.
Bedrock Painting, I am not trying to catch falling knives. I'm just sitting and...
Watch your hands. That's. I don't know if there's going to be any falling knives today.
No, I don't think there's going to be any falling knives. I just think we're going to go, even if we go a little bit sideways, like I just took a little bit more. So actually what's interesting is on that spike, The only thing I had up in the moment that Spike Deshawn was talking about, I happened to have NVIDIA up. So I saw like AMD kind of moved, IBIT didn't really. Open Door was kind of doing its own thing, so it didn't care. But when that spike happened, I was like, oh, that was kind of weird. Let me just take some more out. There's some support there on IBIT. And the trend keeps going higher and higher because obviously the longer it holds up here, then the trend break gets tighter. So it's now at 50.80, which is a support level anyway. So I'm still bidding in front of that, but I'm just sitting in this trade looking for something else. Like, I don't know what it's going to be necessarily, but I'm just, if we hold this trend line, then I probably cover this all in front of the trend. If we break it, then I look for an entry underneath said trend line. We can answer questions, we can do whatever. I'm just not seeing a heck of a lot that's gonna stand out. I didn't think Alibaba was gonna bust VWAP, but it did and went 25 cents. So BABA finally took the volume weighted average price. It went an extra 25 pennies for you, and now it's going sideways. So I don't know if there was anything more to necessarily grab out of that unless you reloaded it. So I'll probably stay away from BABA, especially given the fact that it's an afternoon and these stocks tend to slow down regardless.
So we might just get the story now to make me get out of everything. 2 military personnel shot at the White House.
I've heard
on ABC News. So you know, obviously, so I just got another piece out there at 27.28 on Apple. I'm sitting here at 31. Obviously sad. We don't want to hear anything like that happening. Especially as we could get close to Thanksgiving and everybody looks to, you know, celebrate it with their families. I mean, the last thing we want is to hear that there's, you know, violence at the Capitol.
This is not brand new. This is from at least 20 minutes ago. I just did a little bit more research on this. It's just being circulated widely now, but the video posted on X is from at least 20 minutes ago.
Okay, so regardless of when the video is posted, I mean, if we're just hearing about it right now, this could start affecting the market, right? So right now, here we go, shot in downtown Washington, 2 military personnel now confirmed, and yeah, not necessarily a good thing for the market, but you know, it's probably, who knows? I'm not going to sit here and guess anything about that. You guys can do your own research, obviously, and we hope for the best for everybody into this holiday season. Yeah, not good news there. All right, so we're just going to get light on everything now, heading into the close. Like, it's just a matter of asking us questions if you want anything. I mean, I'm looking here at some of the charts. Here's the trade list, the hot list, sorry, for us today. I'm a little more specific on the trades. I think Neil's traded about 3 times the amount of, I know I looked it up already, 3 times. Neil traded 10 symbols, I've traded 3 today for you guys on the show.
But I guarantee you I make less actual trades.
No, I'm just talking about the names. Oh, guaranteed, man. I make the most trades around here easily.
I'll tend to make like 1 or 2 entries per stock.
Yeah, just say 10 names versus 3 names. And I mean, people on the chat, it was only because someone was talking about, are we going to be looking at any of their names? So I was just like, that's why I called this open right here. And actually, I see Open Door right there, another name that you traded today. So Open Door could be looked at, man. These are the trade rates. So I'm hearing more news in our ears about that shooting. So you guys stay tuned with it.
No.
Obviously, if there's anything that important.
Apparently there was loss of life.
Oh, there might be loss of life for sure. I just hope it's isolated. That's, you know, the one thing. But anyways, there's Tesla moving, NVIDIA moving. So NVIDIA's back to 180, so that could be a dance right there, right? We're light on Apple. So like what I have on Apple right now is about 20% of my first position. So we're gonna wait. NVIDIA making the move down. I liked NVIDIA up at 182. That was a good one. So we'll see about that. Netflix right there. What is NTNX? NTNX. So this is one.
Nutanix.
Nutanix, of course. How did I not know that? They are down 17%. Just kidding. I have no idea. Down 17% right there. So this could be a name interested to look at as we've appearing closer to VWAP there for NTNX. IREN, just to see if there's anything else moving. BMNR 11%, so holler at BMNR, great move there. Wow, I mean the story here, look, the story behind Broadcom is just insanity. Like this name continues to work, man. I don't know what got under them, but definitely a rocket did. And they are just on one right there. Like that Google news, them working with the TPUs with Google, it seems to have really sparked them as opposed to Google over the last little while. They split, of course. And there it goes upside into $400 right now goes Broadcom. I mean, Broadcom ain't playing, man. Broadcom is another $1 trillion name, and they just moved, basically a $1 trillion name just moved 12%, I mean, it's 12%, it's 4% today, but 12% in a week. right there. So they put on a couple $100 billion in market cap in 1 week. Shout out to Ramin, who I heard the other day was into Broadcom. Nice move, Ramin. Want to manage my money probably. Do better than buying stupid Alibaba. All right, what's up, Dane Generous?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you will catch us next week. You won't catch Neil on Friday. You'll catch me on Friday. I'll catch you outside, everybody. Over there. Catch me outside. Joe will be filling in for me in about an hour. I'm going to leave about 15 minutes early so I can get to Brampton. We'll be there for a short time, not a long time, and that'll be good. And we play the Brampton, I think they're called Canadettes there. My daughter plays the highest level of junior girls hockey possible. So I'm very, very proud of her. And we play tonight, then we play again Saturday.
I was going to say, like, how many games in the tournament?
Oh, it's not a tournament.
Oh, it's not a tournament.
No. They're in our loop.
Oh, got you. So it's in division.
Brampton's in our division game there, and she's already played like 50-something games this year, and that's just for her team, let alone summer and spring hockey. Absolutely insane.
They don't rest. Canada does not rest.
Yeah, here it is right here. Here's the story. I'll just put it on. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're just giving you this story because it could be a market moving event if more comes of this, but that's what it is right there. So ABC News reported 2 military personnel believed to be shot. National Guardsmen, believed were shot. So, yeah, hopefully no loss of life as we hope to hear.
There was one report that.
Okay, I don't know how they would know already, but
I don't know. I saw a couple of people online that were that said there was like Wall Street Engine. So we actually have a lot of these stories.
Oh, do they?
Said, potentially one.
Here's a good question.
Which is the worst?
Are we supposed to go to Adara, by the way?
Oh, we are supposed to go to Adara. Before we go back to Adara, I jumped out. It wasn't the break-even stop, but it was a prior low. It's just, look, until we break the all-day trend, I'd just be sitting in this for consolidation, and it's never, every single out that I've gotten has been a little bit higher, so it's swooping back up, so I jumped out. Let's jump on to, before we go to Adara, we'll get the super chat, and then we can go to Adara.
Okay, yeah, so just quickly here. Right, so we work on here just the way that our system works. We work on like first in, first out. So it's kind of just, it's like an accounting method. So it's always like the lowest price it's ever gonna show me is right here, 278.09 or whatever that last fill was, 09. So it averages it in when you're in position, but then as you get out, it starts taking out these prices. So like on my net, it'll still give me the right net, but it won't give me the right, like it doesn't say, okay, you're just long at an average price right here. As we keep getting out, it will always revert to the last amount of shares. So right now, because my average price is 278.09, that's my last fill right there. So it shouldn't change after that. That fill's actually 08, so that should be the lowest it goes, is 08, because now we're getting out of all of these positions, and now we're just holding this that's left. So it's a little different how they account for it here because we're on a prop floor and it has to do with loss from the top and getting shut down and proper risk management. But it is a great question. And often we have to, like if I punch in right now, long, my price will change because I'm buying it up. So this price, average price will change. I mean, I'll do it. I'll buy a little bit here just to show you guys. So let me see if I don't know why, I don't really have to prove this, but oh well, I was just bidding 32s and missed it. Let me just buy 34s. Watch my average price. See? So there, just averaged up to 11s because I bought some again right here. So it just averaged my price up there. So anyways, I just wanted to show. I don't know why I just sacrificed P&L to show you that, but Friday. It's not, it's Wednesday. What's up, Adara?
What is up right now, guys, is ALTS, Alt Sigma, Alt 5 Sigma. They're actually at days highs. What happened here is that basically World Liberty Financial announced they did a massive buyback yesterday. Their words saying calling in a massive buyback. Now that's significant because ALTS actually has a World Liberty Financial treasury strategy. So again, ALTS has a World Liberty treasury strategy, and WLFI announced a buyback that they took place in yesterday. So again, this is moving up here on that buyback news. Also an update, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying the White House is in lockdown after the shooting mentioned here, and apparently Trump has been briefed on this event. If there's anything market related happening here, I'll keep you guys posted. Back to you.
All right. You know, good stories we're looking for. So if you guys want to put anything in the chat, You're welcome, Christopher Ocean, everything like that, guys. Thank you so much for asking about that question there. All right, just let's go over some of the stops that we maybe should put in right now. So the 200 period break on Tesla. So I don't even have a stop anymore because we have such light shares. I said always trade with a stop, but I had to keep canceling them because we just kept on getting out on the way up. So I'm just gonna use that key that gets me out of 100%. So that is 422.75. Let's do that. Actually it's 66, isn't it? 65? It doesn't matter, it'll adjust. 422.74. All right, so there we go. So we're gonna get out of that. All right, Apple. Good. So here we go. Let's get something out here at 51s or 52s. We put an ARCA there. So we get that fill at 51. And now here we go back up to the upside. So, hey, me showing you guys what that accounting was actually turned out to be okay. I wish now I had punched in more shares. Right there. Oh, God. Here's a good question, man. And I actually I didn't get in trouble, but the boss around here, well, not a boss, but asked me last time, he said, why all of a sudden did we see an increase in people using ARCA? And I said, well, maybe that's because of something like this. So on that note, yeah, it would be ARCA, right? And I don't, this is ARCA book on here, right here. And it was just so funny. Like, honestly, it was kind of like a random question because we have a lot of traders. I used to train and hire and open up offices before we did this all around. And so I'd always get questions about this kind of stuff. So now this program, of course, is being distributed amongst our, I don't know how many offices there are right now at Real Trading. We're obviously on a prop floor. But you see in here, if I go to a slower stock, let's just go to AT&T or something right now, and I can show you. So these are all gateways, right? Let's go, Apple. Let's go, Apple. Sorry for my excitement. All right, so this is New York book, IEX, you guys might have heard of them. There's ARCA, there's NASDAQ, there's EdgeX, there's BATS, there's MIAX, we heard news with them in Robinhood. Thanks AT&T for populating the chart here, by the way. 24X, I don't know, this is a new gateway, EdgeA, and then NSX. So there's a bunch, there's even the AMEX participating on this New York stock. So you can choose any one of these I used to teach it as their stores, right? So same thing I taught everybody. And you just get to choose. I'd like to get AT&T shares. You could buy them from NASDAQ, ARCA, EdgeX. And what you want to do is look on the time and sales to see which gateways are actually printing. They'll all have their own alpha code. There it is. You'll have, I don't know why I've never seen that happen before. It took that long. No, AT&T's, the chart just loaded now. But anyways, so you got to see ARCAs or Ps, EdgeAs or Js, BAT-Ys or Ys. New York is C for some reason on NASDAQ stocks. But long story short, just choose one or don't. Choose many. Like when I look at my gateway today, at my list, there's many different gateways that you choose. And for me, because I'm just getting in and out all the time of different shares, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but there are different fee schedules. So some of them will give you a rebate of like $2 per thousand. Some will give you a rebate of $150 per thousand. But how many shares do you actually even trading that matters? Me, not enough.
It matters in the long run, though. Well, here's what I will say. If you, over the course of like a trading year, it'll matter. If you're trading a stock where, like, what's the example you were using? It doesn't matter. I'll just pull up Apple because you're saying Apple. Like, look at Apple right now. Does it matter what gateway you use? No, because if it's going to blast through the level, it's going to blast through the level, and everybody's going to get a fill. Now, if you're trading NEO, well, it might matter. Might matter what you use. Like if you're trying to, look, I just randomly pulled, I did not know there'd be 200,000 on the offer on NYSE, but let's say you were trying to get short at 35 using that as an out, it might matter. I mean, you might care to actually get that fill on a different book and be willing to give up some of that rebate. So at the end of the, wow, Neil's having a bad day. So at the end of the day, overall it matters, but gross is what you care mostly about. For the bigger stocks that we look at, most of the time, like on IBIT, who cares? Just sit on a gateway that's going to pay you because overall it just makes sense to you. I don't have a preference. If I find that one's printing better than others on different stocks, then I might do that. But I tend to use ARCA just as much as I'll use EdgeX to sit on the bid because it's blasting through these levels anyway. It's like everybody's getting filled when it goes through. You're not getting held up like you used to sometimes on specific gateways. So I'm looking for a trend break. As I said before, I just jumped out of it on that. It was a headline, and I had trailed my stop anyways, but I'm looking for the all-day trend, or almost the all-day trend, on IBIT to break, and then a push into the volume-weighted average price. I do have some eyes on Beyond Meat for everybody that's asked about BYND. It's back over $1, and it's actually holding, but it hasn't really retaken the high. So it just held $1 in here, looking for it to try to retake that high of the day, and then maybe go for a long, as it could possibly squeeze. Like Beyond Meat's probably going under, but for now it's looking pretty good.
Up everybody, hit the subscribe. Let's go get that off there. All right, man, there's Apple. Let's go. Huge trade, obviously, for Apple. Thanks for asking that question, so I had to average in right there. But nice move up there for Apple. You know, it's going, and this is what we waited for, man. This is this could be a big stock right here again. And like I said, man, follow me on X. NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple, Baba. It was funny because Baba obviously hot fire there today. We didn't expect that kind of a move. And Alibaba right to the downside. Everything all right over there? What is that? How big is that ladder over there? 10-footer, eh?
What was that noise? That wasn't a ladder.
I might have to we have to, this weekend, well, this weekend is tree decoration, of course, and then as we go and get our tree tomorrow, it's been a Katina family tradition over the last maybe 5 or 6 years to go out and get our own tree, and, you know, so we've been doing that, and that should be fun. Hopefully, our newest member of our family, the cat, does not have any ideas about the tree. But that cat is something else too, man. I don't know.
Because cats don't care. Cats don't give a you know what.
My family is just absolutely in love with the cat and the dog. My animals are just something else. I don't know. Yeah, they've really taken over. But okay, so I got some Kanye going on in my ear. Gold digger, actually, right now. Some Kanye going on right here on a Friday. No, it's Wednesday. All right, so let's go, man.
I might as well.
Trina, Jennifer Lopez. Okay, there goes Apple, 278.85. All right, what else you guys want to look at right here? We're rocking with Kanye. We've got some Microsoft, some Google, some Affirm, some Starbucks. Oh, yeah, let's check out some retail names because like Lululemon, nice move right there. 183 today, high 183.50. Lululemon on what's been a real nice move back on this heat map for retail names. So I'm actually going to call it up right now. We can do a broader look right here on the retail sector. So there it is right here, the retail trade today. Oh, poor Amazon. Come on, Amazon. You're not actually traditional retail, my guy. But Walmart today up 2%. We like Costco. Costco's been a forever hold. I don't even know if I've ever sold any Costco shares. Wish I would have at about $1,000. Over 900 right now? Yeah, we held 9 bills, so that's a good trade there. Home Depot, let's go, man. We like some Home Depot. I should have bought some on that most recent dip down. Yeah, I know. Went right into tariff low there, Home Depot, on their report. Not a great report. Home Depot fell pretty dramatically there and was not expected. And Lowe's, the very next day, put up a good number. So that's 1.94% there for Lowe's. Lulu stuck in here somewhere. And then, Target, man. We're long on some Target right now, and hoping that can make its way back there to the upside. Is waiting for some activism or something there on TGT. I think there's an opportunity there for Target to get going. Look, everything green today, except we just had AIML here, so we want to say thank you for them to show up here today. But the health technology sector not hot fire today, as Intuitive Surgical down 1% there. J&J just hit all-time highs and is still there, so them being flat is cool. Eli Lilly, same kind of a story. That's an all-time high story there for Eli Lilly. AbbVie, I know you just recently got into there. We really like AbbVie as well. Danaher, I know is a name that you've had as well.
Oh, I've been out of that.
Okay, Danaher's gone. Okay, Zoetis there. This is a pets care company. But anyways, just watching out. That's today's day, man. It's really just the chips are kind of trying to lead the way. MU, AMD, big time upside for both of those names. Oh, this is something that's standing out.
Yeah.
Right? John. What's up, John?
That kind of bugged me.
John Deere down here. Is it still John Deere or is it Deere and Company? How do I click on this? Yeah, okay, yeah. Deere and Company, John, no longer part of this, I don't think.
Why is Lamb in that? Hold on a second. Go.
It's not in here. Lamb Research. Oh, LRCX. Yeah, producer. Oh, because it's.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, they
'cause
produce
it's
the
managed,
chips.
yeah,
the equipment.
No, that does make sense.
Yeah, so
like
chip
AIML,
equipment maker. Yeah, AIML right there. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I think you could do worse buying some deer
I
here.
ended up not trimming cat. I said I was going to, and I was just like, I don't want to sell it. I don't want to, so I didn't. I said at the end of the morning show that I didn't like what was going on in deer. I was looking at, because Caterpillar is the stock I own in that sector, and obviously it's done really well. So it's held up pretty decently today. I ended up not doing any trimming in that. But IBIT did break the all-day. To call it an all-day trend line is a bit of a misnomer, but just from the low of the day to the breakout is the trend line. So it just tested it and just broke, but it hasn't closed underneath. So I'll have less shares here than I would take there, because that's a close underneath. This is just it trying to break underneath. So very, very different story. And ultimately, could it come back to the top? Maybe. But you know what I'm looking for. Like, I want to see it hold underneath, do something like this where you're scalping, you can reload it, it consolidates, and then breaks into the volume weighted average price. But it's still not really closing that prior bar underneath. So if it's not going to be this, I hate to say it, but Beyond Meat's still above $1. I just don't see what it'd be a lot cooler if there was a story. Took one shot for like a half a cent on this earlier. And I was like, yeah, it's not at $1. But it's above $1 now. Like, this could break. It's just what's going to make it actually go and take out these highs. Because I think you've got some room if it was going to take out fives. Like, you've got room to 15, 20. But in an afternoon like this, like you just got to be a little bit careful trying to fight it. Jameson saying TMC, the metals company, maybe today, as a small capper, breaking the highs, not bad, 9%. But yeah, not doing so without really moving much is part of the problem. What is that?
Yeah, so my kids went to a trades thing today. So the school, they're both in grade 6 and grade 8. Here's Skate, by the way, Skate 4 in the background, an absolutely banger of a game from EA Sports on the PS5 right there. You'd never be able to tell this is my house.
Hackers gear?
Hey, there it is. There's what she said. Oh yeah, here's my cat little tree there, and then there's the dog's bed. They're not making appearances right here. But yeah, the welding. So I talked to them yesterday. I was like, look, man, you guys can learn trades. Do that. Get a trade if there's something you like. So nice little welding job there as the plumber's now in the house. My 13-year-old, he now is gonna have a new job. Get soldering, my guy, right there. But I grew up in the trades. So my dad is a genius tradesperson, and I spent every summer since I was like 7 years old working with him. So HVAC and everything like that. I very well versed and disciplined in that. But anyways, whatever. I'm not that good, but I do like the trades, and I think that there's a lot of value in there, especially looking at where this world's going with AI and a lot of technology.
Nobody bothers learning.
Games, technology taking over simple sort of jobs right now. Obviously, Optimus is eventually going to be able to weld, but for now, I think that's
anything that requires hands. It can't do jack. It was having trouble handing out. I forget, it was handing out candy or something for Halloween and struggling doing that.
The fun thing is, from working in trades, that's true. From working in trades to making trades. Yeah, no, my dad was just nuts. He was awake, 4:35 a.m. every day, had his own business, and I'm very, very proud of what he accomplished. This is not the time or place to talk about it, but he is quite the successful individual coming from absolutely nothing. And I hope that that's where I get my work ethic from. So love you, Dad, and thank you for teaching me everything that I now know, which I probably should know a lot more, but I don't. Okay, so let's go back over what's up. Was that a call to Adara, or?
I think so.
All right, let's go.
Big pop here for Mobileye this afternoon. MBLY moving higher here after Amazon endorses the company. AWS just posting on their blog a post entitled Optimizing Mobileye's RAM with AWS Graviton. Back to you.
Oh my goodness, Mobileye's down there? I didn't know. Okay. Apparently this is where Mobileye is now. It's an $11 stock. I like that sound effect. What would be really cool is if we had new sound effects that we had on our board, not just you guys could use. But yeah, I didn't know Mobileye was down at this point, but it barely even moved off that story. I think the problem for them is there's just so many other places to play. Automation has different winners, and one of them is called Alphabet. Like everyone just would rather be, hey, you get a bunch of other stuff that works with Alphabet and a bunch of other things that are upside with Tesla, so why are you messing with Mobileye? I think that's kind of the real story, why Mobileye would be dwindling. I have no idea that it was so bad. And Intel still owns a bunch of them. So good on Intel for actually not falling down as Mobileye's on the lows. They still own a pretty big chunk, I believe. Intel does, I would say. And Intel at the high of the day. So, different story, to each their own. Yikes. I had absolutely no clue. At one point, I was considering owning Mobileye, and I just never really found the spot to pull the trigger. It just never made sense over other plays. Uber, on the other hand, yeah, I'm still stink bidding this one. And remember Uber, that 85 breakout? Step one good. I think this might have made at least a little temporary bottom in here. You take that 200 SMA back, and Uber looks like it's primed finally to make a bit of a bust. Just had to maybe break down a little bit, but that's a good consolidation, great hold of what is like, it's not 80, it's like 81.5. I'm being real about it on the chart. You guys can see it there. And I think Uber has a chance to break out 87. We'll call it next week because on Friday, it almost doesn't count if it happens on Friday. Because Friday will be on a pretty light volume, so you'd want to see follow through on Monday for Uber. And I've been waiting for a chance to buy some more shares of this. Haven't done anything since the S&P. Sold some when it got added to the S&P and have not bought any shares back. That was what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
I don't know, yeah, maybe. I actually just recently bought Uber right here, and I recently bought Oscar. So we just bought, Oscar's a hero trade right now. I might just get out. I'm not gonna get out, but tomorrow, again, tomorrow we're taking the kids, we're gonna go get that tree, and then we're gonna do everything. But watching a little bit of the games tomorrow, maybe I will look at what exactly my position here on Oscar is and how heavy we are, because we got out of a little bit on the way up, and then we didn't do anything on the way down except for buy it once it got to 1475 right into here. So we don't even, I wish I could tell you I got 1275, but no, we don't. So now's the move upside. So we're gonna have to watch out right there, 1870 coming into play here. This is a good level for Oscar, so that's 1880 or so. So you might want to look at that. We're getting close there for Oscar, up 9% today. Again, the Affordable Care Act in discussions over the last couple of days, and Oscar now making its way back to the upside there. All right, so just couple more outs, almost like tons of outs now. And these are just all small pieces. This is what we mean about making more trades. I just have a lot of shares, and it's if I can start taking them out there as we sit here, and part of it is me sitting here, right? This is me working out at the gym right now from 11 to 12. I put some orders out, so when we go upside, I get filled. I always have a stop order, but put some orders out as it goes up, and then when do you think I got back from the gym? Around 1 o'clock? As soon as I sit down, then the maniac trading begins again. Out, and then boom. So let's here look on Tesla. Here's me leaving. Here's an offer that I have out at 421. More offers. Oh, when does Sean sit back down? Oh, look, here's 1 o'clock again. So more random, mad outs. So it's I just have to do better. It's just sitting here watching the P&L and watching these plays. Sometimes levels are hit, and I'm just wow, right here. Got to take some out because we're right there. Oh, got to take this out because we're at this level. Some of it is overthinking a little bit, but it's what's worked. So we're still here, and you guys know, man, the percentage of traders that fail is incredible. So we're just going to feel lucky to be here still and continue to work as hard as we can to show some possible trades to each and every one of you. And we do have something that was created by Fabian, and we want to say thanks to Fabian for doing this, but you can see right into here. These are names that you guys want us to cover, and you could vote on them. So I'm in Tesla. We've talked a little bit about that. NVIDIA, Neil's talked about Beyond Meat. KSS was sort of a yesterday story, but still up 9% and doing real well. That's, of course, Kohl's. So we'll see what that wants to do here moving forward. Webull, great day for Webull, up 7% today. I don't know if many of us sort of expected that, but it happened. Webull, KTAA, maybe that's a look that we haven't had. Palantir, I'm looking at 175. If we can wind up selling that. All right, Andre, get my mug out of here. I want to see what's over here for everybody. There it is. Okay. Oh, by the way, yesterday, Broadcom, Apple, and Baba. So all the names I talked about. There was actually something pretty funny yesterday. I don't know how I can find it on here. Maybe if I go on to this and just click here because I shared it. No, that's today. I won't be here. But anyways, there was a funny reel yesterday. Oh, it's right here. So here it is right here. This is me switching yesterday. I don't know if you guys, this is me with, there's Andre. Here I am switching buttons. I'm putting Obi on. It's a good little talk there. What's up, Randy? And here I am over here, which was a complete disaster because my mic wasn't working. There's Neil again. But yeah, we switched jobs yesterday. And oh boy, man, what a job they have over there. That's a tough one. So shout out to Andre and everybody. Go follow me at TraderTV Sean. Often imitated and duplicated, but the original is right here. Trader TV Sean, one word, nothing else involved here. This is where you'll find some fun stuff. Here's my kids right here. My lovely daughter, my mini-me right in the middle there, my son. Here's my brother at a Leaf game, by the way, that we went to not too long ago. This is what I'm all about. Right here, I head coach for 5 or 6 years at the all-girls rep team, #1 Little League team, girls in Ontario. So right there, and she's the catcher, and she started pitching this year. Damn it. Oh, there's another trophy. Here's me teaching them all as well. Oh, here's, Neil wasn't here this day, but there's Obi, Adara, myself, Joe, and Fabian. When was this, man? It's 20 weeks ago. We got to do this again.
20 weeks?
Right there. Oh, any guesses where? Oh, Fenway Park. That was fun in Boston this year as well. We had some good fun. Me and the girls, again, one of the greatest things ever. Here's me and my bro, again, golfing. There, oh, here's Randy and I, the girls again. Anyways, there's my puppy. There she is. There's Belle. What up, Belle? There's Belle. So shout out to Belle. And here's me telling all the girls to buy Palantir in the summer. I don't know if they listened or not. Hopefully they did. But yeah, that's that. So a little bit of a blast on memory lane there. You can go find me at TraderTV Sean. And there's also, the sticky note goes on there every single day. So you guys can go have a quick looky over there.
Looky for sure. Some good memories there. We're trying to think what was 20 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was, so it would have been the summertime.
Yeah, it would have been summertime.
That was a great patio right around the corner.
Yeah, summertime is always the busiest time of year. It's
crazy.
Wow. There's always activities, but summer is always a little bit crazier because it's twice a week baseball in addition to other sports. So
twice a week baseball, you're lucky.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I got twice a week baseball now. We have Sunday afternoon. We have winter practice.
Well, that's what it's all about. You got to.
Oh boy.
What I love at this age, though, for like the kids, is like discovering sports, because like right now, like Erin wants to do pretty much everything. We limit it to 2 or 3 at a time, but she's starting to get into basketball. I got to show you guys this because
we were at volleyball yesterday.
If I don't show you guys the locator, it'd be like, why didn't you say anything about this big gigantic number that's here? So what is the name of this company? Interpublic Group of COS, whatever. IPG is a 17 million sell. It is a deletion. It's a deal that is closing today, mostly stock. So it's supposed to be a massive sell. It is in the correct direction. Hanes Brands as well is supposed to be a sell. Is that even, I don't even see it on here. Soxtel, 3.6 million already to the sell side. Don't know what FLO is. And then Kenvue, 2 million to the sell side. CCL, 2 million to buy. So once again, and then Uber, 950,000. So some pretty decently sized numbers there on the locator. That IPG is already at the low of the day, despite that gigantic sell. It being obvious, it's already at the low. So on the off chance this actually pops up a little bit, you might see, this is one that I might try to pop into. If I see that stay, it's 17 million shares. You know what the volume is on the stock today? 13 million. Right now the imbalance is larger than the actual volume on the day, which is pretty significant. So if it comes back into some of that resistance, it is worth a look. It's not often that you see that big of an imbalance. Still nothing crazy happening. Oh, we got a super chat. Still nothing crazy happening in Beyond Meat, so that might not end up being a thing after all. Might have to wait for it to do something after that $1 level is being tested today. Safe. You sent a super chat yesterday, I believe. Or if not yesterday, it was on Monday. Thank you. Are there traders that are consistently profitable? Answer is yes, not many. And what are your thoughts on Reddit in the AI training game? Thanks for all you do.
AI training?
And
AI training.
Rest in peace, Pops. Oh, you're.
Thanks for all you do.
Did your father pass away?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Rest in peace for that. Hopefully you had a fantastic life. That's all you can ask.
Yeah, celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate the life. What was the question? Reddit.
It caught me off guard.
I really like Reddit, man. I mean, I think, thanks for the super chat. A name that I missed, definitely buying. Like, I should have probably pulled the trigger on Reddit, but down 4% here, maybe it is time to do that. Like, not that it's just another news source, but I do like the scraping of the large language models on Reddit. I'm a little worried, like Randy's not here anymore. He's a big user of Reddit, and we had, when we were out with Intercontinental Exchange a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Reddit and all that kind of stuff, and it's a big like source for opinions and facts and how to do things. It's kind of like, almost like the way people are using YouTube, you know, they're going on Reddit to see if there can be some user-generated content, right? So I like Reddit here, and I think as long as we hold this 200 period moving average, I think it's a buy. So let's just do the Brian Shannon method here and just say, like, you know, if it's not in the penalty box, then it's free to run. So yeah, holding this 170 would be awesome. I think a 180 dip buy is another great opportunity to pick something up that is AI related. So you're going to share in the AI boon, but you're also doing something relatively new. Reddit's a relatively new stock, man. I mean, it just came to market right here in March of 24. So it's not like this is an old story. This is a relatively new story, Reddit, and their current valuation right here, as I'm just going to have a quick look and make sure that
short flow, 15% short.
That's what I was going to do. So here's 15% short. I like that. RDDT here. I just want to see what the market cap of this name is.
Ooh, I don't know.
Right here, 41 billion. Not, you know, doesn't seem like that's that high there. Their PE is going to be obviously a little extended here, but 61 and then forward and 100 current. But you know, their quarter is what it is. When's the next time they report?
They only make 600. They only do 600 mil revenue.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not there yet. No. They're going to go February, so they've already reported. So they reported there with a beat. 67% on revenue, 57% surprise on that number. So good look there. But it's now Feb 11th. You have to wait now for some Reddit trading. So you can forget it until February 11th. But I like it down there at 180. So yeah, great. Thanks for the super chat there. And I think it's a throw quickly over to Adara. Buy Reddit down 4%. Good spot to maybe start a position.
LISR moving around a little bit here. This company is called Enlight. There's some speculation that they have some entanglement here or partnership with the Department of Defense. So LASR, Department of Defense speculation. Keep an eye on this ticker. Back to you.
Oh, there was one thing I forgot to mention because it's not New York. SanDisk is getting SNDK. They're getting added to the S&P 500. I was convinced it was on Friday, the 28th, but I'm seeing in the note that it's supposed to be about 2.75 million shares to buy. But because it's NASDAQ, there won't be an early look here. Like, you're not going to see, IPG starting to pair off. Well, that kind of sucks. Well, 17 million, now 11. SOXL still there. But you won't see SNDK until we hit 350. So about 20 minutes to go until that happens. Again, it doesn't mean that it's going to go up, automatically has to buy. But if it's a gigantic buy, there might be a quick little scalp trade on SanDisk. So that's the other name that we are expecting. Oh, that's why we got the Upwork question. I'm just looking at the note. Upwork is also an addition to the S&P 600.
Oh, okay.
That makes, okay, that's a little bit more context as to why. Because it was so random. Why did we get a question about Upwork today? That's much bigger than, it's 18 million shares to buy tonight. Expected potential on Upwork. Ooh. But like SNDK, we won't see that imbalance until 350. So now I have to throw that one up as well. So IPG, SNDK, and Upwork are the three big potential imbalance trades today. Grunfeld says CRM is terrible today. Well, DMR has been terrible all year. Like, what's been worse this year? What's the worst stock? They're in the, yeah, I mean, if we're thinking about, I don't know, it's not the worst stock. I'm thinking about like widely held symbols maybe, or things that people probably might have in their portfolio. Like, not much has been worse than CRM. What was it, 300 change, and now at 230. just made another fresh low. You got to wait for this to do something good. You're still trending down, can't get above the 200 period moving average. They say all the right things and then don't get any results in AI, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks. And Echelon, yes, Upwork joining the S&P 600, that's as of the 28th. So when they say as of the 28th, oftentimes that means the trade is like the prior close, in which case, because tomorrow's a holiday, that's tonight, which would explain also why SNDK is going to have a potential imbalance tonight.
All right, here's cat picks. Right now, I know I got to lock in, but I don't have very many shares here of anything. So this is the most recent addition to the family. This little thing was out in the back in the forest. We back onto a green belt, and my wife searched and searched and searched, even called cat rescues and everything to try to find, the mother or whatever. We've been back to the spots, but now Ali, which is her name, is now part of that's her awake. I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but that's her sleeping.
Yeah.
Like on her paws.
Yeah,
like,
that's the one.
Give me a break. So yeah, just an absolutely gorgeous cat. She has like a little Harry Potter thing right here too. So it's just really cute. But anyways, there we go. So trader, family guy, pet guy. Oh boy. All right. Never stops. Never stops. Okay. That's what we're doing. But all right. Let's just. I was going to buy Apple a little bit more down here actually, just to give it a shot. Let's just see what happens with Apple right now. Maybe there's a chance for this. And we'll wait. So we'll just see if it breaks. We're going to take a long right here at the lows. We'll see if it works. And we'll go from there. So that's what we're doing on Apple. I'm only going to give it about 15 cents worth of room. We're going to buy 90s if it does come in. We're buying 90s on Apple, okay? So if that comes in, that's what we're going to try. Now, I only have 15 more minutes. Thank you to Joe for staying a little late. He's going to cover me as I got to get to Brampton there tonight. And there's actually, I just found out, so I'm even more nervous. There's coaches from surrounding places coming to check out Gia, so you better have a good game. She plays on the rep team as a minor. She's the youngest on the team, so they're maybe hopefully being recruited into different teams, but it's amazing here in Canada. I know it's in the United States as well. Like we went to Boston, it's such a popular thing out there, but even at 10, she just turned 11 years old, there's even recruiting happening. So it's absolutely wild.
They don't mess around.
They do not mess around with. When you're competitive sports, right there. Okay, what's up, MVP? I will tell her that, and she's an absolutely darling. When I woke up today, it was all over there. But okay, let's go. That's Apple. We're gonna wait for that. Tesla is still $7 in the money. I'm gonna just put a stop right here because I got to get out of here. 424.65. So we already know where my initial stop is. We'll put it right here. 424.65. I'll just put in what I said. If it breaks it back in, we're going to get out as the market's losing a little bit now, but we have to wait for those imbalances. Neil just showed them there. There doesn't seem to be too much other than that one stock that you had mentioned.
IPG for now.
Yeah,
the others are NASDAQ, so we're not going to see anything for 15 minutes. There was a super chat I know we'll get to. Actually, you sent two, Darth Trader, but I think they were exactly the same. So as long as we look at SYM here for you, thank you for sending the super chat and thank you for the kind words. Can you take a look at SYM? You're in at 50 for the long term. Got a little lucky this week. They had a significant beat. Would you buy more, trim more, sell? We can only look at the technicals. I'm not. Wait. Okay, first of all, what are you asking my advice for? You're in at 50? I mean. Like you tell me if you feel like if I am never in a swing trade in which I would not be taking an almost instant 50% gain into the highs. But I'm also one of those, I'm trimming at I trim at all-time highs and 52-week highs to take profits because maybe I want to buy the dip again. And some people will tell you should never sell at an all-time high. So it's up to you have to have your own risk parameters. So I can't tell you. I just always prefer to take some off the top. And then that way I'm open to being able, do I want to buy the 50 period on the way back in? Do I want to wait for a trend break to sell some more? Like there's all kinds of things you can do. But that's a rocket ship. Yeah, I mean, usually I'm always trimming something like that. But that's the literal bottom. And in 3 days, you just got 37. So that's actually better than 50%. What I said, that's significantly better than it's like 70% return. Like that absolutely plays. So congratulations. Yeah, for me, usually I would be trimming in that spot. You know, like if MP had done that nonsense, you think I would have taken some out? Obviously. No questions asked. But MP hasn't. MP also bounced off 50, and that went to a whopping $65 and can't even break the 50-period moving average. So, hey, a good one on there, but you know, I can't tell you what to do. But, I mean, looking at that chart, you certainly got a quick little run. It's almost like a free roll when a move. You might be expecting it to retrace that in a few weeks, and it does it in a couple of days. Sometimes I like to ring the register in that spot. That's just me.
So I just decided to get out of Apple. I changed my mind. It broke 278. I was just like, you know what? Like, the more I thought about it, like, I'm not here. I would have got filled at 90s, by the way. That was the best trade. I was at 91. I don't know if I would have got filled, but it goes to 91 and then bounces off there. So we give up, you know, 15 or 20 cents. But, you know, honestly, like, we've been fine, having a decent day, and just don't want that trade to do anything, and we weren't going to take a lot of shares anyways. So I decided to get out there on Apple, you know, capture all that, and now just move away from it because we don't need to worry about it. We do want to say obviously a big happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. I only got 7 or 8 more minutes here, and then I'm gone. So you know, watch out for all these plays into the close. Again, like stocks moving around. NVDA, we've sort of gone over some of these names. There's nothing happening here this afternoon, so I don't apologize for it. Just apologize that maybe they're, other than the Tesla trade that just came out right there, the Apple trade, and then looking at Alibaba, just gained crazy strength right back in. So that's really good sign there for Alibaba that it was able to gather some of that strength again. So good on you, Baba. And then right there, JP Morgan. You know, we didn't talk enough about this bank today. What a monster. This bank, and just continues to get to the upside there. Just a monster today. I mean, it's obviously fallen back in. The only bank I own there, JPM, and then SoFi on the United States, a small piece in Goldman, and a couple Canadian. And you can, you know, if you did want to diversify and you're like, I'm not sure which bank I want to actually own, XLF is also very, very strong. I mean, you did get some dip downs there, but other than that, XLF near all-time highs, and why not? You know, if you're in stocks, most of them aren't up here, but XLF is. So that's nice to see there for anybody interested in this ETF, continuously going a little higher there, and you just bounced off the 50-period, or the 200-period moving average. So boom, right there. Good look for paper trading the XLF. And
you get some, as Rayleigh says, or is that Riley? You get some Berkshire as well, XLF. So you get a lot of exposure for sure. We got to, David, of course, you can't go all day long without your trade of the day. Delicious trade of the day.
Yeah.
Buy just one.
Get delicious.
I should have read this first. Buy just one share of Beyond Meat for fun. About to do it and see if I can move the market. You're welcome, PETA. Well, you're probably not going to move the market on Beyond Meat. One share, the dilution that must, whatever. Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Buying one share. And then you can say you have it, I suppose.
Hey, look, some people in sim mode or training mode would buy 10 shares or 100 shares or something. I mean, it's still only a dollar name.
It's a dollar stock.
Right, so.
I think there might actually be a dead cat bounce here off the dollar level. I'm just not convinced it's happening today. Like it's above $1, great, but there's no breakaway. So I think like I said, there's room. First step to maybe see 115, 120. That absolutely makes sense. But I don't know if it can really go today. I shorted it once at yesterday's low because the way I see it, like you transact at prices that matter. And so take a shot when it's trying to break down yesterday's low with a tight stop. But then it never really set up on volume this breakout potential. It's just kind of sitting here and not doing much of anything. But hey, there could be something Friday. If you're one note for people trading on Fridays, I'm not going to be here on Friday, but I will tell you that when smaller names tend to run, sometimes the lack of liquidity makes them run even better. But that does cut in both directions. Right, like understand that you might get a little extra slippage and you don't want to hold it too far against you because it could fall off. But certainly, and especially at the open, if you can catch a quick runner, Beyond Meat's as good as anything for potential to go. So I'm just going to double check. Ooh, that's really pairing off. That IPG went from 17 million to 10 million to now 8 million shares. So IPG is actually, oh, you can't even see that. My head's in the way. Let me get my head out of the way. You don't need to see me for this. I just want to show, yeah, there we go. IPG now down to 8 million. SOXL still sell at 3.6. CCL still a buy of 2 million shares. Lumen is now there for 1.6 million to sell. Lumen's claim to fame is getting a deal with Palantir. 1.6 sell, that's not nothing. That's a good 20% of the day's volume on Lumen. Maybe worth a watch. That hasn't been able to bounce much at all, but it's holding the 50 period. This might be something next week too. But they kind of go with Palantir goes. If Palantir continues running next week or even on Friday, keep an eye on Lumen. Right, bouncing off the 50 period, look at the trend down, trying to break back up. That's certainly one that could work. And then someone in the chat telling me that Tilray, Jam Loki saying Tilray's working out. Yeah, but that's only going to last for so long. It can only last for so long. It's at $1.05. It's up 7%. That means it moved 7 pennies today. So there's your bounce off the 200 period. The best advice I will ever say for the weed names is have a target. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you take profit on the way up, because inevitably, whatever, they always come back. It always comes back in on the weed names. I don't know if there's going to be anything too crazy. Yeah, stay off the weed.
Well, no, don't. I mean, I don't think you should stay off the weed.
That's what Stephen A. always says.
Oh, does he? Yeah. I mean, it's so much healthier to smoke than to drink.
Of course
a lot of people are drinking these.
He just has that whole, he had that one rant.
Just be careful.
And it was probably directed at some NBA guy. I don't even know who he was directing at, but it kind of went viral. It was like, stay off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah. Now people are joking, saying Stephen A. is going to run for office, which...
I know, he had mentioned that a little bit a couple weeks ago. I know that he had mentioned.
Yeah, the only thing I'm looking at that isn't
his running mate could be The Rock.
If that happens, no. I could.
Who else are Democrats going to run? Let's be perfectly honest. Right here, we're going to see in a couple, I guess it's only, 2 years away. You're going to have some of that again already. But okay, happy Thanksgiving. I'm out of here. Joe is about to take it over. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm hoping for good things. Tabby never want to put too much pressure on the kids. I just hope that she continues to enjoy herself. That's all that we can do, and stay out of the penalty box. Tends to get like a penalty a game, but she's been doing better on that, and just no injuries. But that's for me, that's the biggest scaring point. Ooh, I saw that big X on the back there. That looked actually pretty good. That looked cool, for sure, Fabian. We're setting something up, aren't we, Fabian, for Friday? We're getting ready to go. There it is. What is this? Oh, what should you do? Yeah, all of the above. So this is Family Feud. So we're doing this. Oh, you're not going to be here on Friday. All right, so we're doing a family.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, Neil won't be here, but we're doing Family Feud on Friday. So Obi, myself, hopefully Sharif, Dara, and Joe, we're all going to participate right there. So whatever team I'm on will probably lose, survey says I love Family Feud. So we're going to have a host. I think Fabian's going to host it. Should be a lot of fun. So we're getting ready for that on the big screen. All right, see you, everybody. Joe, hit the music because you're coming in right now. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Where's Joe at? There he is.
Man, get theme music.
This weekend is not Friday, though, but I'm going to be joining Neil for the remaining 18 minutes that we have left on today. Neil, do you guys have any big American Thanksgiving plans? What was that?
I have the traditional Thanksgiving plans, but before we get to that, this will probably be the last thing that is not an imbalance trade. IBIT did close underneath that trend line, which it is what it is. I'm just going to make the trade. The last time broke the trend, I took the trade. This time, it did not close under the trend line. This time, it did close under the trend line. So I'm short. The prior bar high is 51.12-ish. So it's just over 10 cents worth of risk on this. And I've got to see where it bounced before at 50.80. That's almost 2-to-1, but I got to respect it. Like, no questions asked. I'm going to respect that. But Joe, the plan of action is the same. If you're a trader, then you're used to the whole you get U.S. holidays, right? Which means everybody I know is at work.
Yep.
I get to walk my daughter to school, which is one of my favorite things to do because I'm up at 4:30, I'm out the door at 5:20 in the morning. And I've been getting up early since I was in high school, and that's just been me. But it means I miss out in, like, getting ready with my daughter and walking her to school and dropping, like that kind of a thing. So I get to do that, and it ends up being a special thing because she's not used to having daddy do it. And then I work out. When I get home, I'll watch a bunch of football. I'll work out again, probably get a run in. And
a run? Oh, you're running now, Neil.
Oh, bro, I've been able to get up to 5K.
Bro,
several times. Yeah.
okay.
I had an Achilles. For anyone who doesn't know, I tore my Achilles last year. So back running. I was doing some sprinting as well. I kind of backed off that a little bit. But there's also, I have to look at my calendar. There's some kind of an event that my daughter has in the evening.
I like that. I like that.
What the heck? It was some weird thing that we just put in that I have to take her to because it's not one of her normal ones. I should know this because my wife just told me about it yesterday. What are we doing tomorrow? It's like it's some craft painting workshop. She's into the arts now. So denim painting workshop. That we're apparently doing in the evening as well. So,
it's funny, Neil, because it just feels a little off because like you just mentioned, everybody's at work and you're at home and you're like, what am I
Joe,
doing?
It's great.
You like it, eh?
You get stuff done.
Okay, yeah.
No, if you got stuff, if I have stuff to do around the house, I can get that done.
Yeah, that's fair.
I get to like because when I go home, like I'm just dad, and there's always a million things to do, and you're always busy. But like I don't get to work out twice a day ever.
Ooh.
2 a day, I get to lift and I get to have a run because it's a day off.
There you go.
Take advantage of that, bro.
This leads to my next question. If you're up at 4:30 in the morning, what time are you going to bed?
I would always like to be asleep before 10 o'clock. It doesn't always happen, but yeah.
That's the reason.
And I've always kind of been that way. Like when I was in high school, I was I was always active. Like I tried to do every single sport. Like I wasn't I just loved being active. So I was morning basketball, so I would go to school, play basketball for an hour and a half in the mornings. And then we used to have like a hurdles practice because I was a hurdler 2 times a week, even in the off season. And then I'd have other sports, whatever the current sport was, I'd be doing in the evenings. So if you're doing all that kind of stuff, and then my dad was a very much you get your ass in the books kind of deal. So I had to go to, I had to get my sleep. And so I've always been that way. But I'm up early. My dad would wake up at 5 a.m. and I'd wake up with him when I was a little kid. And then I would go back to sleep. I'm talking in grade school. Like when I was 8 or 9 years old, I would get up at 5 a.m. with my dad, sit and eat cereal with him, and then he would go to work, and then I would go back to bed because I just wanted to hang with him for a bit, and then I'd wake up and then really go to school. So I've always been that way, but you have to get your sleep. Like I can't get away with going to bed at midnight. But just one quick update. The buyers came a little bit sooner on IBIT here. So it got to 1-to-1, and I elected to try to let it drop a little bit further, but I will take some off at that 90 level just to get a little bit out. There's only 3 minutes to go for the imbalances. And where's the wah, wah, wah? Thank you, IPG. It was 17 million, then it was 11 million, then it was maybe, it was 9 or was it 10? Doesn't really matter. Now it's under 6 million to the sell side. So this is only going in the opposite direction of being exciting, meaning it's pairing off huge. If it ends up a really small sell, then it might not be that interesting. But it's this. SNDK is supposed to be a buy at the close, and then what was the other one? Upwork. Upwork's also supposed to be a buy, but they're NASDAQ. So we will not see those potential imbalances until 350. Don't know if you're looking at anything there, Joe. We're planning any trades, but there are some additions and deletions kind of worth following.
For sure. No, I wanted to talk a little bit about Robinhood here, guys. I mean, we talk about taking the stairs up and then the window out, just in the decline of some names, but sometimes we have to look at it from an inverse perspective as well, too. It took the better part of a couple months, or I guess a month and a bit, in order for Robinhood to fall 33%. But then in a span of 4 trading days, you cut that in half, and essentially you're only down 16% now. So talk about strong names and just relative strength. Robinhood is most definitely there. Are we going to recover at this point and head towards an all-time high? I think time will tell about that. But again, just going back to the fact is, yeah, sometimes we see these vicious moves to the downside, but in a span of 4 trading sessions, you cut those losses in half. And strong names like Robinhood, and you can go across the board when we have the likes of Google starting to recover and just not far off of its all-time high either. And then also Meta. I mean, this was horrible for quite some time, but at the end of the day, you were down 27%, and sure enough, you take 10% off just like that. So now these things recover pretty fast as well, too, especially if the fundamentals and the backing is behind it, especially if some of these names are in play as well, too. So just keep in mind, as fast as we go down, we can definitely move to the other direction equally as fast as well, too, guys.
No, absolutely no question about it. That's the same thing with Bitcoin, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like I know you saw this.
Yeah. Oh, I was in it.
Like, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
when 88 broke, It broke 80, which is, it's about $50 on IBIT when 88,000 was the breakout, and everything went absolutely ham. As I said, man, like, shoot, I was short Mara in the moment. Like, I was like, this was Mara. This is an all-day trend on Mara. And I'm like, okay, 88,000's here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm talking to myself because it's like, well, I don't like shorting the low of the day, but I'm like, well, if 88 breaks, this is the weakest thing out there, so I can short the break of the low of the day with a stop at 88. And then in the moment that it broke, I looked at Bitcoin, completely missed that candle. I'm like, there's no chance I can chase that. But Mara hadn't really gone, so reversed into Mara. This is back at VWAP. But IBIT, here, I want your thoughts on something, Joe.
Yeah.
If we can. So here's the daily chart of, oh, that's an hour chart. You know, I find trading view seems to change. I did not change that. I always have this at a daily, and then I want to reset chart view. Oh, I'm going to zoom out. There you go.
Bitcoin.
So I don't know if you can see my, you know, if you can see this chart.
Yep.
I've been of the mind that we do not break zones without testing the next bottom.
Yep.
Well, we broke that 91, 92 area without actually testing the mid 70s.
Yep.
So I'm skeptical of any true break back above the trend line or of like 92 without a test of 75. So that's what I'm asking you. But before we get that answer, IPG came out disappointing, only 6 million to sell. SNDK, that's the wrong way. SanDisk supposed to be a buy, it's 2.7 million to the sell side. SABR, whatever that is, 1.7 to sell. And CCL 1.6. Upwork, that is correct. It's a 1.5 million buy. It was supposed to be a buy and bounce. NVDA is a sell of 1.4 million. And that's pretty much it. Apple, small sell, 900,000 shares. I'd say that's a pretty big disappointment for SNDK. SanDisk being a sell when it's supposed to be, it is getting added to the S&P 500, but I guess it has to come out of the 6. There might be some selling to buy. I'd watch out for this as a potential flip or pair off. Like if that could pair off and flip to a bid, maybe you'd have a long in SNDK, and then Upwork was supposed to be, it's the right direction. It's way less shares than expected, much fewer shares than expected to the upside on Upwork, and that might be the reason why it's not going anywhere. So neither one of those giving you the shot, given that they're additions to an index that you would expect. But your thoughts on IBIT? Do we retest that 75?
Yeah, I mean, as for Bitcoin, I like the point that you bring up, Neil. I think it's phenomenal because at the end of the day, you're right. You come and test these levels. But what I was thinking here is that maybe we not always be to the penny. And I mean, obviously, we're going to be speaking of hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. So what I'm thinking here is that we're relatively close to that next shelf in which you were referring to, which is going to bring us down to there. I mean, we were at the lowest point from where we were currently trading at like roughly around $5,000 off of that level. So I'm thinking maybe that might be close enough considering what we are experiencing from a volume standpoint. I mentioned the fact that in Bitcoin and in IBIT, the largest volume print was November 20th of 2024 compared to this one. And then this print was on November 21st of 2025. So we can go back and test that level, but at what point do we think, hey, are we potentially sold off enough where we can bounce in and around that specific level? So that's how I'm looking at it, if that makes any sense to you.
No, it makes perfect sense. Because in the back of my mind, I'm kind of mad at myself for not just, when we got the bounce off 80, like I had a dip buy set, and I could have just bought half of it in front of the 80 level and then waited for the other half at 75. Sometimes you get what's anchored. You get anchored to an idea or a line in a chart or a specific price, and you start to overthink things. No, but I find it when you're dip buying.
I think that's respectable. Yeah. I think it goes both ways too, Neil, because if we look at specific levels and it's like, oh, okay, say we have a trend line and we see the trend line being breached, but then it's just a whipsaw move and it moves back into the direction, kind of like an elastic effect. It's like, okay, it bends it, but it doesn't break. And then sure enough, it starts to climb back higher or go lower, whatever specific direction you're referring to. So I'm thinking that maybe that elastic effect in Bitcoin might be at that $80,000 level where we can start to climb a little bit higher. I'm not saying this is going to be a complete recovery, but maybe you do get a sustained bounce from a bunch of things kind of correlating together.
I think that's well said. That's why not just Joey options, but he also gives a look when it comes to crypto and whether maybe you're trading some crypto, maybe you're trading some other things. Either way, Trade the Pool is going to change how stock traders access those markets. And that's because the limited risk trading model allows traders to use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows you to focus on what truly matters, and trust me, it matters a lot. Discipline, consistency, and growth. As of right now, Trade the Pool's Black Friday deal gets you 15% off all evaluation accounts automatically at checkout. So when you hit the profit goal, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear or barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get the discount. And as said a little bit earlier, we had a question. Someone asked, are there consistently profitable traders? I will tell you, it is a very difficult thing to be consistent. However, there are a few things like, thank you for the super chat. I want to get there in a quick second. But discipline, consistency, and growth. The first two are paramount. You cannot have the other without the first two. You cannot grow if you're not consistently profitable. Because if you scale up before you're consistently profitable, you would just lose more money. And I've seen too many traders do this. So work on discipline. Like here, I'll give you the example, right? Like here, just quickly, because I just got out of this trade. If we can come to my chart just for a quick second, then we'll get to the super chat. Right, like have an idea of what it is that you're looking for. There is the trend break, but I know in advance that even though I want this to go to VWAP, what happened when it got here before, when I was short around the same level? Buyers. What happened when it tried to break down under there? Buyers. So as I'm letting it fall and I see it bounce to the same level, what am I going to do? I'm going to trim some. Do I want it to go further? Sure I do. But am I going to listen to the market and what it was telling me before? Absolutely. And am I going to let it go red with like less than a few minutes in the day? Absolutely not. So like always have an idea, and fine, fair enough. Like some people call it too systematic, too boring. I've always been of the mind, like, who cares? You know, when I was a penny stock trader, when I started out, people were like, people who trade penny stocks are not real traders. I heard that a lot. I didn't just hear that from people when I would go out to the bar and be talking with my friends. I would hear that from people on the trading floor would say, penny stock's not real trading. Well, you know what? The only two consistently profitable traders at the time on the floor when I graduated were myself and the other guy who traded penny stocks. Everybody else would be up one month, down the next month. We were the only ones that were up every single month and was like, okay, well, whose checks are real? So don't even worry about it. Just find something that works, be consistent with it, be disciplined, and then you can worry about scaling. And then let's get that super chat back up there if we could, Andre. I believe it was Alfonso. What up, Alfonso? Asking about KALA. How many stocks are testing the dollar level today? KALA, okay. I wish I could tell you that I knew anything about this biopharma stock. I just know that it's Kala Bio because I just looked it up. What do we have for short float? 12% short float on a 5.6 million float, so that does give it squeeze potential. There's 3 minutes left in the day. So I don't know what to tell you. This is not very, what are you gonna do? You're gonna try and take a $1 break or a hold $1 break when you've got 2 days worth of, what the heck? 2 days worth of risk. Sorry, I just looked at the daily chart for the first time. This is one heck of a dead cat bounce. So I can see what you're getting at here. You're just looking for the hero trade. This is day one off of it used to be 60 cents. So when I was a penny stock trader, the way that I would play these, I'm just being real. If it closed above $1 and I wanted to take a shot, like I either thought that it fell too far or maybe it's a biopharma that has a chance for a dead cat bounce, I would in theory oftentimes swing the dollar break if it closed above. This is not doing that, by the way. And I would stop out. I'd be willing to stop out if the prior low was 75 cents, in this case it's 60, then I'd be willing to risk the 60. So if you're willing to risk 45% on this, you've got a lot of room. Like I can't do any better than here. This is $1.70. So if it were to close above $1, like you are getting 70 pennies up here if it just goes to resistance. And if it breaks out, then you certainly have room to at least, it's almost $3 at the 3 period till you get to this level, which is also about the 50 period moving average. That's how I used to play them for swings. Now you would play penny stocks for swings. I don't really do it much anymore. I did it a couple of years ago on Tellurian and got pretty much the same move, about $1 to $1.75, and that was all I got. But you are risking 40%. And on top of that, it's also not closing above $1. So throw that out the window because it's not really closing above the $1, which is usually a condition that I would have. So less than about a minute to go. As you can see, IPG is completely paired off here. Lumen didn't really come out as much of anything. And I don't even see SNDK anymore. So yeah, only 1 minute to go, everybody, for this holiday, end of the holiday. Well, not the week, because you still have Friday. What am I talking about?
It really feels like a Friday, though, Neil.
It's kind of like a Friday.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's Friday. We'll call it Friday Junior, I guess. Junior. Friday I was gonna say Junior the 3rd or something like that. Whatever it is.
I have one thing before we get to close here. I have one Thanksgiving wish. You don't make wishes.
Oh.
But Joe.
Yeah.
Can you at least try some pumpkin pie tomorrow? Like just try a piece of. Find a place, get some pumpkin pie. It's gonna change your life.
I've gone 33 years without having to eat this stuff. I don't think I'm missing out on anything now.
Yes, you are. You can't know if you don't try. I tell my daughter all the time, don't tell me if you've never tried it, though.
Can I say something? I don't love pumpkin. Adara, I'm going to listen to what you have to say. I don't love it, but I would like to try, like, maybe a peach pie if they have that.
By the way, that closing bell brought to you by AIML. Shout out to our guest today for that fantastic interview. And I'm pretty sure the CEO of AIML also eats pie and likes pumpkin pie and apple pie and everything else. So, Dara, what are your thoughts?
I was just gonna say, I feel like with you saying, oh, it's been 33 years at this point, you're just looking for, like you're holding on to this brag that you've never eaten pie. Like, that's how it comes off. That's honestly how, like, it's just, you're like, I haven't done it. I need to hold on to this, which is honestly weirder than not liking pie.
Say less, Dara.
Keep the Iron Man streak going, no?
But now you're just doing it to be stubborn.
No, I'll try it. I will gladly try it. And that's what Adara was saying. I'm not being stubborn. If it was brought to me, I will gladly try it. But I am not going out of my way to get the pumpkin pie.
Here's what I will say. Like, I'm not even here on Friday. So, look, the next time that we have pumpkin pie in my household, I'm going to bring a Tupperware in. And I'll tell you this right now, for everyone out here, if I bring in pumpkin pie for Joe, understand, if he doesn't eat it on air, there will be consequences and repercussions.
Listen, can I say something?
There can be some consequences.
You know when you're carving pumpkins and during Halloween and you're just scooping out all the gook and everything like that? That's kind of the imagery that I have in the back of my head of what pumpkin pie is.
Okay, first of all, don't even be worried about that. It's delicious. You get some cinnamon. If you like whipped cream or ice cream, it's fine. It tastes delicious, bro. You're gonna love it. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Remember, there's no show tomorrow because it is, of course, Thanksgiving. So I want to remind everybody, hey, everyone has something you're thankful about, but it all starts with family. So make sure you enjoy. Be responsible out there. Have a wonderful time. For all of our American viewers, happy Thanksgiving. And if you're not an American viewer, then who cares? Celebrate it anyways and have a little bit of fun. We'll be back, or at least everyone except for myself will be back for the half day at 8 a.m. on Friday. But for Joe, for Adara, for Sean, for Brendan, for Sharif, who'll be back, for Adrian, Andre as well. Oh, we got a super chat as well for pie money.
$50.
Farm Trader, pie money, $50. We buy a lot of pie with that.
That's crazy.
Oh, we appreciate you guys so much. Well, you know what? You guys should just get a pie for Friday and enjoy it then. That's what I would do if I was there.
The $50 is there.
That's just me.
Also, my fellow Americans, this is going to be a hot take, but lay off the light beer. Get off the 4% and the 4.5%.
Let people do what they want.
Put some hair on your chest and get there to the 5%, or go out there and buy some Canadian beers or something like that. Do me a solid on that, man. The Busch Light and the Michelob Ultras and all that that monkey water beer.
Try Innocent Gun. Innocent Gun, the rum cask is a rum cask, Innocent Gun. It's about 7 or 8%. It's a little stronger, but it is delicious. It is my favorite beer of all time. Not that I'm endorsing. Everyone do you. You drink, have fun, just be safe. That's all that really matters. Enjoy it with your family. Everybody, let's wrap it up. Look, have a fantastic holiday tomorrow.
For $50 super chat. We'll get that for sure.
Appreciate you. And thanks for stepping in there for Sean, so he could go enjoy and make it on time for GS Hockey. So good luck, GS. Well, we'll see you guys. Well, I won't, but everyone else will see you 8 a.m. Friday morning. We're Trader TV Live, brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. Happy Thanksgiving.